Hello, and welcome. Tonight, we are going to discuss financial literacy. So, I'm excited to have you all here. So, there's two major problems when it comes to our financial literacy. The biggest one is inflation. So, when we talk about inflation, what exactly do we mean? So, here's the thing: if you make $10 per hour, let's say in 2010, and then over a 10-year period, you get raises up to $20 per hour by 2020, most of us would look at that and say, hey, I'm doing pretty good, right? Well, here's the thing: because of inflation, you still are only making $10 an hour after 10 years. So, here is why it is so beneficial to own your own business. This is going to help get you ahead of inflation. So business owners pass the cost of price that increases to consumers. They have the ability to outrun inflation because here's the thing: everything increases, whether it's gas, food, daycare. But as a business owner, part of your expenses become write-offs. So the number two big problem that we have is taxation. So with a job, 1/3 of pay is taken off the top, making it necessary to borrow for things like a car, school, and home. So how many of you out there have a car note? Or maybe are paying back student loans? Or what about the home that you live in? See, this incurs interest, and now we're being double taxed, and technically we're in debt. So what I want you to do today is make a choice to simplify. But before we get started, do you believe you are worthy of success? And really, what does success look like for you? So, our mission is to empower you with confidence, hope, and the tools necessary to reach your dreams and financial goals, whatever that is, small or little. Some of us, honestly, just want to live further than just check to check. So, this is for everyone. You are worth it and are more powerful than you believe. Dream big. When did you stop believing? If money and time were not an obstacle, what would your life look like? I want you to honestly assess that. Really think about it. Grab a piece of paper. You can go ahead and grab it now or when this is over. But I want you to write down, what exactly would your life look like if money and time were not in the way? What would you give to your children? Where would you go? Who would you give back to? Think about that. Write it down and look at it daily. See, the thing is, our brain, when we see things over and over, it starts believing it. It starts partnering with the possibilities of making it happen. There's two ways that the average person can succeed financially and get their dream life, whatever that looks like for you. So one is to be your own boss and own a business, and two is leverage. So let's talk a little bit more about leverage. So many of us are familiar with a real estate agent and a broker. But what's the difference? See, a real estate agent, they meet with clients, they show homes, they handle paperwork, they do the open houses, and then they take a commission. Now, if they are on the high end in their real estate journey, they're going to take often up to about 50%. But what about the broker? So the broker runs the real estate agency. They get the building, they have the broker license, overhead. They can hire several agents and receive commissions on the agent's work without being present. So here now we have a similar job, but leverage, right? So which business allows the best leverage? So we've already assessed that owning your own business is the best way to go, but which one is going to be the best leverage? So first you have retail. maybe your traditional business, maybe a restaurant, maybe a clothing store. So here's the thing. It has a high startup and the overhead is high. The reality is most businesses fail in the first 5 years. Do you have the time to invest in that? So maybe we say, well, let's get into some investments. And that's a good idea too. But here's the thing. There's a lot of time and there's a lot of money that it's going to go into being successful when it comes to investments. It's a high risk, and if you don't know what you're doing, you might lose more than you have to gain. So the third one, and many of us probably are in this section, is service. So this could be our doctors, our electricians, plumbers, hairstylists. So many people in this industry, they make a lot of money, really good money, right? But often they're too busy to enjoy that money. They essentially are trading hours for dollars, and there's only so many hours in the day. So then we have that fourth one, franchise. So here's the thing with franchises. Usually they have a lower startup, there's lower risk, and time and money are valuable. Very similar to that of the broker. There's only one profession that offers the time, the leverage, freedom, and the money, and that is multi-level marketing. The beautiful thing about multi-level marketing is that there's a low startup cost, there's low overhead, you qualify for tax advantages, extraordinary income potential to fight inflation, and you get education and training. So let's now talk about sales versus networking. I do think this is a crucial thing to talk about because unfortunately, many people will come into the multi-level marketing industry just like they would most businesses and try to do sales. Here's the problem with sales. You only get paid one time off of your efforts. You only get linear growth, and you must increase volume to increase your sales, right? The reality is only one person benefits, that salesperson, and that's it. But that's not what we do in this business. We don't sell, we network. But what is networking? So networking is getting paid for what we naturally do, whether it's referrals. Now, let's be honest, ladies, gentlemen. When was the last time you referred a friend to a movie or referred a friend to a hairstylist or a barber? Now, what if someone paid you every time you did that? You do it naturally. You do it anyways. With networking, you get exponential growth and leverage. Like the broker, help others first and benefit on the efforts of multiple people, not just yourself. So growth is not solely dependent on you or your talents. Network marketing benefits. Everyone is at the top. You decide income, raises, and bonuses. Income and success not dependent on where you are in the network or when you got started. Now, wouldn't it be nice if all of our jobs were like that? The reality is you're probably never going to make more than the CEO, right? And usually the supervisors are going to make more. With multi-level marketing, you don't have that ceiling. And this isn't just me telling you that this is the best business model. See, maybe you are familiar with a few of these entrepreneurs: Brendon Burchard, Rachel Hollis, Robert Kiyosaki, Gary Vee, or Warren Buffett. All of them many times have stated how smart it is to get into this business model and how much success you can have. In fact, Brendon Burchard is actually on many of our trainings with Young Living. So not only is this business model promoted, but it's encouraged, especially for the average person. But what do you look for in a company? And this is going to be across the board, no matter what business you're looking for. You're going to want consumable products that work. Here's the thing, guys. Nobody wants to refer something that doesn't work, right? You have to be passionate about it. It has to be something that you use on a daily basis. When people come into your home, they need to know that this is your lifestyle. So it must be products that work. You're using the toothpaste because it's the best toothpaste, right? You're using the shampoo because it's the best shampoo. And that's the only thing that you're going to be comfortable referring to people you love. The company needs to have longevity. It needs to be a strong, stable company. We're not talking about these little startups that come in and out. And I'm sure you have your friends on your timeline where a product comes out and everybody needs to try this and they're super excited. And then what happens to them in 6 months? You never hear about it again. Go with a company that's been around. They've been tested. Residual income opportunity. This is key. The reality is so many of us aren't going to have 401ks and retirement later on. There's not going to be pensions. Many of those things that we're putting into aren't going to be there when we are looking for it. So can you build something now that's going to build residual income for later? The business can be sold for profit. Low monthly recurring overhead. This is important too. A lot of times people get into businesses and they get excited, but then their overhead on a monthly basis is so high that it's not even maintaining or balancing out. And thus why they ended up in debt and sometimes going bankrupt. So you want to make sure whatever that monthly cost is, the overhead is low, it's doable, it's manageable. There's no employees to manage. And again, you need training and education. This is not something that's just going to happen by osmosis or happen out of the air. You must be trained and you must have education. So now why healthcare? So here's the thing. The healthcare industry annual revenue is $2.5 trillion. Yes, that's $1 trillion. The money spent on alternative healthcare is $34 billion out of pocket. That's out of pocket. So that means $34 billion, people are not getting answers with their regular healthcare physicians. They're not getting answers with their regular medicines, and they're looking for and willing to pay whatever it is to find real lasting solutions. You have real lasting solutions. The stuff works. 38% of all Americans have expanded their health spending beyond Western medicine and doctors. Why not spend it with you? The top 4 leading causes of death in the US are linked to lifestyle factors and stress. People need to know that there are other options. People need to be educated and know. So what does this require of you? What do you need to do? First, it's dedication. You have to be committed to dedicating 5 to 7 hours a week part-time to actually doing the business. Yes, you need to do work for 5 to 7 hours, at least on a minimum, a week. The reality is, for some reason, people get into this structure of business and just think that people are going to fall into their lap and everybody's going to just come. You have to get out there and you have to do some work. Now, the beauty of it is 5 to 7 hours, you can take that simply from maybe watching TV a day, or maybe cutting some time away from other things. But 5 to 7 hours is easy to carve out just to secure a future. Dedication of 2 to 7 years of investment. Here's the reality. This is not a get quick scheme. You're not going to make money tomorrow, but you have to put in the work. You're going to have to say, hey, I'm going to buckle down for at least 2 to 7 years and put in the work. But the beautiful thing about this is it's unlimited earning potential. So unlike where most people might go to school for 2 to 7 years and end up in debt and making less money than when they started, you're going to be making money the entire time of that 2 to 7 years. It's an investment that's going to have a return. You have to prioritize personal development and growth. It's so beautiful because doing this business, you essentially are just going to be a better human being, period. This is so crucial because the paradigms that you are going to have to encounter is going to be a shift from the norm that you've been raised with. So you must every day take time for personal development and to grow. You need to be committed to training. Like any other profession, you must learn the industry and skills needed to be successful. Again, these are not skills you learned at school. These are not skills you learned from your parents. You must learn these skills to be successful. So you must carve out time for training. Mindset shift, and you have to care about people. You have to care about the health and the wealth of people more than you care about yourself if you're going to actually be successful. So now it's your turn to take action. So the startup is simple. You enroll as a wholesale member. This is your startup. But bonus, hey, you actually get products in addition to the potential of a business. It's as low as only $150 to $260 to start. That's unheard of. You sign up for Essential Rewards, and this is your only overhead monthly. So here's the thing. Most businesses cost anywhere from $10,000 or more just to start up, right? And unfortunately, I believe because the startup price and overhead is so low in our business that many people take it for granted. And they think this must be too good to be true, or maybe it's not really a legit business. Again, at this point, paradigms are beginning to kick in. What's the catch? What do I really need to do? As stated before, it's a real business. That's it. It requires real work and training. That's all you have to do. Seriously, that's it. I'm living proof that it's possible. I have been able to homeschool my kids, have a part-time income, and be able to meet amazing people on the journey. What brings me the most joy is the stories of moms that couldn't sleep and kids that have been able to stay above the wellness line and people that thought that they were going to have to remain on certain medical procedures that they never had to have. When you get to start changing people's lives, really, you get to change as well. And that's what this affords. Education and training. I can't emphasize this anymore. It is important that you educate yourself. So on our team, we have our Vital 180, which has a training that takes you from kit all the way to silver. It's a step-by-step building to the next level training system with videos. It has books. It has worksheets, everything you need to do. There's no reason for you ever to say, hey, well, what should I do today to be productive? It tells you step by step everything you need to do. If you haven't gone through that training yet, finish up that training. Again, it has everything you need. Every Sunday, the only, again, dedication you need to your training, every Sunday evening at 8:30 p.m., program it in your phone. We do live Zoom calls. So again, carving out that time to live now and be able to be successful in your business. Our YouTube channel, DNA Wellness. Be sure to subscribe there. Again, there's resources for everything. Maybe you're not really comfortable with the makeup and the skincare of Young Living. Heck, maybe you didn't even know they had skincare and makeup. Check out the videos. Get some product reviews on them. Learn more information about them. We also have our Health Talk with the Mots. Talk about different health topics. Maybe you were at work and somebody was struggling with their seasonal discomforts. Check out the video. Send them a link. All of it's going to refer right back to you. The research sources are already there. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to redo things. In your very first step, you get coconut money through simple, achievable goals. Again, I think people overcomplicate this. The very first step this month, become a star. Once you've purchased your kit, help 4 people purchase kits too. You get $200 and your premium starter kit is absolutely free, plus a little play money, right? And then the only thing you need to focus on from there is helping your people also become stars. Because again, even if people aren't wanting to build a business and make all of this money, they at least want to get health in their home at the most cost-effective way possible. And could I just say, free is probably the best way we can go. So these are simple, easy solutions to being able to set your life in the direction of your dreams and where you want to go. So thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. I hope the information was great. Take care.